Hello and welcome to another tutorial on tileable pixel art textures. This video will be divided in 3 parts. And the first one I'll be showing you how to do the 32 by 32 wood floor texture. The second one I'll be showing you the 32 by 32 stone tile texture. And then I'll be showing you how to do the transition tiles in part 3. Now, to give you an idea for how to use these things, I make these to create 3D environments in Unity using pixel art to make actual 3D environments. In this case, you only see planes. You can of course make hallways out of this in sort of Minecraft style. I imagine people who watch this are either also doing this or perhaps Minecraft texture packs or something like that. It'd actually be interesting for me to know why you are watching this, so if you could maybe leave a comment if it was useful, or why you are using it, what you are using this for. Hopefully I will give you some inspiration. So let's get started on the wood. So we'll be making 32 by 32 tileable textures, so a 32 by 32 region. And these are the colors I will be using. These are picked from the Dawnbringer 32 palette, which you can see here. Just Google DB32 and you'll find it online. As my neutral wood color, I'll be using this one. Now I'll be making 3 planks next to each other on this tileable texture, which I think is a good size to use. With 32 pixels, it creates just the amount of the level of detail that I want to see in my tileable textures, and thereabouts. Unfortunately, this is not dividable by 3, which is a bit awkward, but I'll just make a 111 broad plank, 2 11 broad planks, and 1 10 broad plank. So the way I work is I generally make pixel art textures imagining that the sun is coming, the light is coming from up here. So this is a plank going up like this, so this is catching the light and this is catching shadow. Obviously it's the same thing here. Now, using Alt Control arrow key to replicate my selection. Now let's just get rid of this, maybe put this on a different layer. So what you see here is very basic planks. Maybe fit in an abstract style, but we want to go a bit more detailed. Also to note, I'm using a relatively big canvas to work on, not just for my little preview thing, but because I like to just try out the pattern like this. This is you can replicate your layer that you have selected by using Control Alt and then just move using the mouse. So if you look at planks, you'll see that there are dividing lines. They're not just infinite long planks, so we don't want that in our thing either. So we'll just do this, divide them up. As you see, this will create a sort of diagonal pattern, but unfortunately that's unavoidable. I've tried, it sort of makes sense that it's unavoidable, but hopefully it will look okay. So I've made these shadow lines here, so I also need to do this with the light lines. I'm using Shift to make sure my lines are straight, but unfortunately I'm clicking too quickly sometimes, which creates a line between where you click. Good thing there's Control Z. So these 3 colors are not the only ones that I'm using. I'm also using a darker color for the points where 2 shadow lines meet to make them seem just a bit darker. Now you need to keep in mind that your texture obviously goes round. So if you want to put it here, you need to put it on the other side. Just make sure the dark and light, there's a bit of a transition between them, so they don't always touch. And if you want, you can also just make one shade lighter, which I didn't include in my palette. Or would this be better? So this gives a more a warmer look. It's your choice. This is a colder look for a highlight, or a warmer look. I think I'll go for the warmer look. So this would be a very basic wood plank tileable texture. We want something a bit more detailed, of course, but this would be, for example, an abstract look. No, planks are connected to the floor, at least in olden times, with nails. Now I'll be using this gray to create some nails. Now don't put them like all in the same sort of symmetrical spot. Create a little variance in it. That may be a little bit much, but we'll try it out. Now, of course, not all nails will be the same brightness, so I'm just gonna change that a bit. And also they'll be in a sort of depression, not actually on top of the boards. So I'm creating some shadow around them. And of course these depressions also have highlights. I'm making these all the same color right now, but I'll also give these some variance with the two other shades of highlight and shadow that I have. Is that? Yeah. Maybe not that one. Alright, so that's a bit better already. Now let's try this out. Now you see this could be a pattern you could use. It's a very clean one. I feel like the orange might be too out of it. I'll just do this for now. See, it's just messing around. So there's this one. I'll just save this to the side. But I'll show you how to make a bit more dirty and messier look for it. So we'll just apply some rules first. For example, where planks meet, there's a sort of a cross. Just to darken it up and apply a bit of randomness. And same thing goes for this. These are obviously darker spots. You could have them coincide with not a highlight on this edge. Of course, don't do it everywhere. It'll look a bit off if you do that. But this, for instance, is a possible look. You could also put some lines in there. You know, you have seams in planks, of course. Of course, these will also have some highlights. So this gives a lot messier look, but it does have its charms as well. Now we can also make an alternate texture to make it not look like it's not all the same. And just darken a corner of the plank here. This is just really messy. That's okay. maybe some dithering. And you know, there's holes in planks as well. Maybe a bit much. It's good to also change these little things that you put in there. Just put them elsewhere so it deviates from the pattern. Now, so these two combined create a pretty nice tileable texture. You could probably see I did it a little bit differently than the initial one that I showed, which is a bit cleaner, but it all depends on what style you want to go for. For example, sometimes there's no real transition between these. It can make the pattern a bit softer. It's all just trying things out. That works out pretty well, actually. So hopefully I'll see you in part 2 of this tutorial, where I'll show you how to do the stone tile texture, which is a relatively simple one, but there's a few tricks in there that you might be able to learn. Please leave a comment. I don't think subscribing will be any use. I might make more videos, who knows. If you like, subscribe. Have a nice day.